Hi guys, it's Antoinette and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, I am in a good mood today. Like, we're in the last quarter of the year and I feel like, where is this year rushing to? Honestly, I'm just like, wow, September already. And if I look back, I'm just so grateful. So grateful. Like, the amount of favor and progression that I have seen this year is just, it's overwhelming. And I just want to encourage you guys that sometimes you get to certain stages in your life and you're thinking, when is it going to be me? When am I going to eventually get this thing or do what I need to do, you know? I just want you to have hope and don't give up on that hope. That glimmer of hope can literally see you through, because when things begin to happen, you just be like, wow. You stand amazed at God's faithfulness in your life. Like, this is how I feel right now. I feel like, yes, I'm entering this last quarter of the year, even though I feel like a lot of the things that I've wanted to do, I haven't even done it, but I'm still so grateful with where I am now and what is happening for me. Like, behind the scenes, I'm just like, oh gosh, you're so good, yeah. So, getting into this video, this is another, it's not even impromptu, it's just like I like to respond to comments and questions that come to me. And like I said in one of my previous videos, not the last one, the one before that, I noticed that a lot of engagement, well, you guys like to engage with me a lot over my DMs on stories when I'm like storying and stuff. That's when you guys seem to like ask a lot of questions and like just engage with me, and I'm here for it. I'm really here for it. So yeah, back to why I decided to do this video in the first place. You guys are funny. Like, you're coming in the DM saying I like to chop life, we like to travel a lot, just living the life. Yes, we do. A number of reasons actually, but I'll start off with why we do travel a lot. And I think it's a seed that was sown from my parents. We grew up with them making us travel, and I don't want to say holiday per se, but travel, a priority, something that they wanted to make sure we did. And I'm so grateful for that privilege, because I know that it's done amazing things for me as an individual and how I view life, my scope in life and stuff like that. And it's something that I really do want for my children as well. And something that our dad always says is, you can't really go anywhere if your mind hasn't seen it. And I'm not saying that if you don't travel then your mind hasn't seen stuff, but I think that traveling helps a huge amount with that. So if you can afford it, well, why not, kind of thing. So it's not just for us, it's not just like a treat or a holiday or a break away from our regular schedule, time to wind down, all of that, but equally important is where we're going, what we're experiencing, what that place has to offer to us, what we're learning. There's certain things that you cannot learn in school, and when you travel, it's all wrapped up in, like, for instance, when you take your children on holiday, well, let me speak for myself. When I'm taking my children on holiday, these experiences that they're gaining or getting from that country that we're in, I think weighs up a lot more than some of the things that the knowledge that they're acquiring in school, because it will help them get further in life. It will help them with their social skills. It will help them with relating to people from other backgrounds. It will help them in their understanding of why people do certain things, why people from various cultures have precedent of certain things. There's just so much to it. I can't be jabbering on in this one video trying to explain or justify anything, but like I said before, for me, in my family, it is a priority because we make it a priority. We don't necessarily have to make it a priority, but it's something that we want to prioritize. And because it's a priority, we set aside funds for that. We have a specific account, and this is back to like budgeting and all of that, for holidays and travel. And it runs through the year. So depending on how much we've managed to put aside determines where we're going and all of that. But we do set aside a certain amount of money just for travel, just for holidays. So it's not just for the enjoyment of things, it's not just to enjoy life, but it's what we're picking up and what travel has to offer. And I'm so glad that we've been able to do it for our children at such a young age, open them up to it. And I don't want this video to come across as condescending, because I know that a lot of people cannot travel. Like, even if they want to, they cannot travel, and a lot of people, it's just not their priority. So I'm not doing this video to try and convince anyone to start traveling, because if you don't travel, you're not living life and you're not seeing the other side of life and all of that. No, I'm just explaining this because I was asked the question, and I thought, yeah, it's good to put it out there, because people might be wondering, okay, everyday jet setting, blah 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 blah. This is something we prioritize. This is something that is on top of, and hopefully, I mean, even with my son, I can start to see the benefits of it. We can already see it. I think you need to look ahead, not just that you're now. And you can say, okay, since social media, the introduction of social media, it allows you to see a lot more of the world. Classic example is, for me though, is I had seen so much of Hawaii on social, on telly, everything. But it wasn't until I went there and experienced it did I realize that this place is another world on its own. It's paradise on earth. It was something that I had to experience, and it's opened my eyes. It brings about some form of creativity and some form of, I can't even describe it, that just comes over you, that you just get fresh ideas. Sometimes, you know, when you're stuck in a rut, you just need to change your scene and then things switch up for you. I think that is what travel does as well for me. Like, changing my scenery, just going to a completely different place altogether is so beneficial. And another example. So there was a point in time when I go on about this a lot, but Twitter was getting me really down, and I started to put out what I was consuming on Twitter. Now, I follow a lot of political people, but it has its downside in that when you're consuming all that content, you begin to kind of react the same way. So I've been brought up to be very open-minded and all of that, but then I started to see myself like picking sides and the other side, why can't they see my point of view, all of that. And I started to, it was a consistent pattern. I had to remove myself from Twitter for a while, because it's like either a case of I start unfollowing so many people, or just remove myself from that scene. So literally, I would only go onto Twitter to post if I've got content out and bounce. I didn't want to consume too much because it was having an effect on me. But when I think shortly after I traveled, and it opened my eyes again to, look, everyone's different. Everyone's going to have different opinions. Everyone's coming from different backgrounds, all of that. It's just a reminder. It was just a big, huge reminder. And it grounded me back into, like, the world is a lot bigger than the bubble we live in. We tend to like forget that we are in a bubble sometimes, and there is so many other different opinions and cultures and everything out there. So it just grounded me back to what I already know. So yeah, I just thought, let me just address this whole y'all living life, blah 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 blah. Having said that though, I feel for me personally, when my mother-in-law, as I say, went to be with the Lord, it changed us as a family. It changed our perspectives, our mindset to life in general, drastically. And it was more of a case where seize the moment, seize the time, because time waits for no one. What are we doing with the gift of life that we have? So yeah, guys, gonna leave this video here and hopefully catch you in the next one. And just remember that it is one step at a time to becoming confident. Bye for now.